Now at 6, a wildfire near Mount Hood is forcing campers nearby to evacuate. What we know about the Anvil fire and the missing mountain biker crews have been searching for in the Mount Hood National Forest is now safe at home. How he managed to find his way back to his car and drive himself home after being stuck outside for days. Plus,
I was so happy.
Many people in Portland are seeing red and black this morning after Damian Lillard announced that he'll be returning to the Blazers next season. We'll hear more reactions from fans as your news at Sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Friday. I'm China Green. Meteorologist Chris McGinnis is standing in for Rod Hill, but he's also doing traffic. We're doing all the things, you and I.
Dame time, too. We're doing Dame time.
Yes.
All right, let's get you out the door. It's pretty out there. Well, never mind the spider that's been hanging out with us all week. The sun is up. You can also see a little haze on the horizon. That, of course, from some of that from the Anvil fire that's popped up yesterday in the Mount Hood National Forest. 61 degrees last check at PDX. It's clear there. We do have cloud cover at the coast and coming up through the mouth of the Columbia. So you folks in Rainier, Longview, Kelso seeing some of that this morning. And in fact, it is cloudy at the coast right now. 55 last check in Lincoln City. Just like yesterday, that cloud cover should retreat. 58 in Beaverton now. It's 60 in Vancouver and down to the south, upper 50s. Pretty common here from Kaiser to Salem and Almsville. 57 right now in Albany. All right, the plan for today, a mostly sunny Friday. Yesterday, we dialed back on the heat as expected. 87 the high yesterday. Today we're shooting for a high of 85. So some pretty comfortable stuff here as we go into the weekend. We'll look at that forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Let's get you out the door with a quick look at the roads. That is I-5 right now in the Wilsonville area. The northbound commute coming towards your television screen. There was something reported on the road there near the Boonton Bridge a few minutes ago, but whatever it was, it looks like that has cleared. And we are still operating at a speed limit clip across the region. Let's take you to the Rose Quarter. I want to point this out because I-5 southbound will be closed overnight tonight and tomorrow night from 9 until 5 a.m. for some maintenance. That'll also impact the westbound I-84 ramp. The detour, of course, is a simple one. It's up and over the Fremont Bridge, but that'll add a few minutes to your overnight commute. Outside of that, no major trouble out there just yet, China.
Chris, thank you. Happening right now, level 3 evacuations near some popular campsites near Mount Hood. The Anvil fire is burning about 3 miles northwest of Timothy Lake. Now, this time lapse right here shows the smoke activity last night. Officials originally estimated the fire at 5 acres. We're working to find out if it's spread, but sheriff's deputies are in the area right now making sure hikers and campers are cleaned out. So here's a closer look at where it's burning closest to Dinger Lake near the Anvil Lake Trail. Level 3 go now evacuation notice remains in place for a 2-mile radius around Dinger Lake. Meantime, the Cram Fire burning northeast of Madras has now grown 91,000 acres. Evacuation notices still stand, affecting hundreds of people in both Jefferson and Wasco counties. Firefighters are worried about winds shifting again today and threatening some of the lines that they have already set up. Now, crews have not released an official estimate of how many properties have been destroyed, but it appears at least one home has been lost. We talked with Kyle Butler, who watched as the flames rushed down the hill towards his Jefferson County property. Though his yard was burned, his house was spared through his neighbor, though his neighbor Lynn wasn't as lucky. Flames destroyed her house and everything inside.
The memories she'll never get back, the collectibles, everything that she had at that home that, had sentimental value, those will never be replaced, but we can at least help her get back on her feet and get a roof over her head.
Kyle set up a GoFundMe to help her recover. Meantime, Governor Tina Kotek has declared a state of emergency for the entire state. Of these and more wildfires burned, we'll bring you updates as conditions change, both here and online at KGW.com. One of the Portland Trailblazers' best players in franchise history is back. Damian Lillard signed a 3-year deal with Portland yesterday. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live from the Moda Center. And Thomas, I'm sure Blazer fans are buzzing right now.
Oh, China, they're buzzing all around us. You can just feel it in the air of people pumped that Damian Lillard, the all-time leading scorer for the Trailblazers, is finally back home here in Portland. And with his comeback, it brings back a little nostalgia of some of his best moments in a Blazer uniform.
Lillard with 47 tonight, working it down to 2-1, a deep three. Oh!
Right there, 50-piece in one of his most memorable buzzer-beating games. That shot over Paul George and the Thunder in the playoffs. And now, guys, Dame back in town. This go round on a 3-year, $42 million contract. Now, next year, the 35-year-old will probably spend the season rehabbing a torn Achilles. That injury was part of the reason the Milwaukee Bucks released him to begin with. Still, the fact that Dame's back is stunning to some of his biggest fans.
I was like strolling and I saw that Dame Lillard went back and I was like, whoa, that's great. I didn't expect he was gonna go back to Portland, but hey, here we are.
Well, he's my favorite player of all time. I watched him play for years and years. He's my kid's favorite player.
You heard it there, his favorite player, his kid's favorite player, a homecoming for the fans, a homecoming for Lillard. His family still lives in the area. And China, when you get news this big, you got no choice but to bring out the Rip City 2 Deep Towel. Give it a little wave, give it a little shake in the air. The season's fast approaching, and this go round, one of the best players in franchise history is back.
Thank you, Thomas. Meantime, remember the Blazers are still for sale. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said that this week that while the league prefers the Blazers stay in the Rose City, the city, quote, likely needs a new arena to do so. Moda Center is the oldest arena in the NBA that's never undergone a renovation. The team and the city has told our news partners in the Portland Business Journal in the past the facility will be renovated over the next several years. The Blazers are valued at $3.6 billion. New this morning, Portland fire investigators are looking into what they are calling an arson. This happened around 3:30 yesterday afternoon at Northeast 97th Avenue and East Burnside in the Hazelwood neighborhood. Parts of I-205, I-84, and the MAX were closed for about 30 minutes as crews minimized the wildland fire. Portland Fire says that they have a person of interest, but no arrests have been made. The federal government has officially removed the Press 3 option of the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It was a mental health resource for LGBTQ+ youth, and now those callers will be served through the main line. The nonprofit Basic Rights Oregon says that the change could prevent people from seeking help.
It forces people who are calling that number to have to already go in their background and re-explain, potentially come out to this person, have to tell their story, and really re-traumatize them when all they're doing is looking for support.
Studies show LGBTQ+ young people are more than 4 times as likely to attempt suicide than their peers. And a reminder, if you or someone you know is experiencing suicidal thoughts, there is always someone to talk to. Just call 988. And in a 216 to 213 vote, the U.S. House has passed $9 billion in spending cuts to foreign aid, as well as funding for NPR and PBS. The Senate has already passed the bill. The cuts could impact outlets here in the Northwest, including Oregon Public Broadcasting. According to OPB's website, it receives about 9% of its funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Oregon Democrats like Senator Ron Wyden criticized the cuts, saying that they will compromise safety and the ability to get out emergency alerts. He added that it will also hurt news coverage in rural communities. The bill now heads to the president's desk. Your time now is 6:08. Taking a look at the sunrise right now. Let's get over to Chris McGinnis for a look at your weather. Chris.
Gorgeous shot there from our Chehalem tasting room camera in Sherwood, right? Really pretty. And over downtown Portland, never mind the spider. I got to get up there and squeegee that thing off of there. The sun is out. It is bright. It's 61. Last check at PDX this morning. Let's take you out to Oregon's Veterans Home in the Dalles. Our camera here in the East Gorge pointed west towards Mount Hood, and you can't see it, really. I mean, you can barely make out the silhouette there of Mount Hood, and that haze likely a direct result of the Anvil fire that popped up on the southeast quadrant of Mount Hood late yesterday afternoon. Right now it's 67 in the Dalles. There will be a pretty gusty west wind through the gorge again today, and I wanted to show you our smoke modeling. It doesn't pick up the smoke from the Anvil fire, but it certainly does pick up the smoke plume from the Cran fire, which continues to burn in Jefferson County. So wildfire smoke and haze an issue across central and eastern Oregon today, tomorrow, and likely for quite a while. All right, right now we are waking up to 58 degrees in Beaverton, King City 57. The big perspective across the state is warmer east side in the low 60s out towards Pendleton. The Dalles, as we mentioned, at 67, and at last check Bend at 55. We're in the 50s along the Oregon coast where it is a little cloudy this morning. Satellite imagery is showing that early this morning before sunup. The nooks and crannies there in the Coast Range kind of highlighted by that low marine cloud deck that is pushed ashore. That will retreat just like it did yesterday afternoon, and Futurecast bears that out here with our computer modeling showing a mostly sunny sky there this afternoon. We'll have some high clouds scoot through the region later today, but other than that, again, a quiet forecast. Temperature-wise, the next several hours, we're inching into the mid-70s by lunchtime here in Portland. Yesterday we topped out at 87, down from 97 the day before. Today I think we get to about 85, and then as we go into Saturday and Sunday, even cooler. Brief morning clouds on Saturday, probably more stubborn morning clouds on Sunday. That'll probably keep our temperatures in the upper 70s, but a dry and pretty pleasant weekend forecast. All right, let's get you out the door. We've got one traffic alert to pass along. I'm going to zoom into Polk County. We're just getting word of a crash that has Highway 221 closed near Brush College. This came in about 45 minutes ago, and right now I don't know the extent of any injuries, but right now Highway 221 again, west side of Salem and Polk County closed. We're working to get more details on that, and as soon as I have them, I'll bring them to you right here on Sunrise. Guys, back to you.